All right, well, if you look outside, you'll probably notice that we're waking up, many of us, to snow-covered roads and some slick travel. But fortunately, as Justin mentioned, the bulk of the snowfall is over.
We like the sound of that. Our team coverage continues in Scott County. That's where we find Vasi Prokos. Vasi, what are you seeing this morning?
Yeah, hey guys, we're here in Scott County. The snow's still coming down just a little bit, but not as heavy as it was earlier when we were in Georgetown with Peyton Hinkle. But we're here in Scott County along Cherry Blossom Way. And good news is road crews are working very hard out here because you can just see that this main road right here behind me is pretty much clear and a little bit slushy still, but mostly clear. But behind me also is the on-ramp to I-75 northbound, and you can just see that traffic is flowing pretty smoothly out there. So that's a good news there. That means that those road crews are out here working as hard as they can to make sure that it is safe for you to drive out here. But I will say, coming up here into Georgetown was quite the nightmare just on I-64. It was very hard to drive onto those roadways. So there are still some roadways that are really difficult to drive on. And if you are out here, definitely take it slow, drive carefully, give yourself the distance between yourself and those other cars, especially when you're out on those secondary roads where road crews might not be able to get to in time, just like these main roadways. But we're going to send it over to Tyler Melito now, who is tracking road conditions in Lexington. So Tyler, how is it looking out there?
Well, Vasi, kind of similar to what you were describing in Georgetown and Scott County, as well as what we saw a little bit earlier in Woodford County. Secondary roads, those rank 2 roads here in Lexington, slushy. This is Industry Road right off of Winchester Road. So this is a rank 2 road for the city of Lexington, and you can just see all the slush that is on the ground. And as we make our way up towards Winchester Road, we're heading uphill here, and that is an area of major concern. I stopped in a parking lot a little bit earlier, just off some side street. I think it was like a parking lot for a shopping center, and that had not been touched whatsoever. I could not get back up the hill. This car has front-wheel drive only, so maybe with a 4-wheel drive car it would have been a little bit easier, but with only having front-wheel drive, could not get up the hill. So that is something you got to calculate into your day. And let's turn on to Winchester Road. You see in the middle, the turning lanes are still covered in some snow. And as we get on to Winchester Road, heading outbound towards New Circle, I want to point your attention to what I noticed a little bit earlier as we wait to the stop sign. Heading over the overpass that goes above New Circle Road from Winchester. Ooh, probably shouldn't run the red light here. There is still so much slush. It is so slick. So you got to be extra careful. Those bridges and overpasses are going to freeze, and they're probably going to be a lot slicker than your main road. So please take some extra time as you go about your morning. We're going to be looking at some more neighborhood roads. Chris and Paul, I know your favorite, the tertiary roads, coming up in about a half hour.